This is Caitlin Renaud from Pixels and Pills, and we're at the BDI Mobile Healthcare Communications Conference in New York City. And today I'm here with
Doug Robinson.
And what do you do?
We develop mobile apps and digital strategy for brands, agencies, education, healthcare.
So what did you hope to get out of today's conference?
I hope to learn who's doing really great programs, who is looking to do great programs, and who is focused on specific areas of execution, whether it be diabetes, whether it be prenatal care, whether it be how brands are pushing their specific agendas for their drugs or whatever the case may be. How can we create solutions in a mobile environment for them?
Okay, great. And so you said you're a mobile dude. So what are some of the cool apps that you guys have worked on developing?
We've made an app called Voxy that is specifically designed to help people that speak Spanish, so underrepresented people who do not speak English but are working in restaurants or whatever. How can they take their own content that they like, so the different newspapers they read or just different English-driven assets, and how do we create a specialized and kind of unique content piece for them to learn English? So it has audio. So basically, I'm the busboy at your favorite restaurant, and I really want to start engaging or being able to possibly engage with the different customers. So what are they reading? Well, they're reading People, or they're reading Stars. So we're giving them specific feeds of data that they can kind of translate and learn English by.
That's really interesting. So you said you haven't done any apps yet for healthcare, but is anything that you see might be an easy way to get into healthcare? Do you have any thoughts on where your apps might go?
Well, I think, first of all, I think diabetes is probably a great area, prenatal care and obesity. I think we really should look at our high school kids. I mean, I really think the obesity issue is just completely out of hand. When you look at different countries in Europe, the rest of the world, no one's as fat as us. So we have to stop this. Like, this is just, it's rising. The healthcare costs are rising, insurance. I mean, the whole thing is just, it's a debacle. So how can we create simple tools, especially for Gen Y kids who have cell phones, have smartphones, are really iPad centric? How can we create specific things for them that enable them to get smarter about their health beyond just using Google? I mean, at the end of the day, I think kids today are reading far less real data than I feel my generation did. Not that I'm that old, but I feel like we read a lot more than these kids today. So how do we give them a daily utility to check in on their health, really look at what they're eating, see how their body index is moving, and then kind of help them as they move through their teens and 20s to just really be healthier? It's kind of like, I'm from California, and we started 15 years ago, they were like, well, we're going to have to start recycling because we're running out of space to put garbage. Well, now we've created a generation of kids that have no idea what it's like to not recycle. So by creating those types of habits early on, I think we can really create a historical precedent that hopefully reduces obesity.
So what can you tell us about the different types of platforms and different demographics that are using them versus the iPhone and the Android and the Windows Phone?
Well, Windows is very small. There's only a couple million Windows 7 phones out there. I think we've crossed 100 million on iPhone. The Android is really much more ubiquitous than people think. With 100 different devices, at the end of the day, there's one iPhone, there's 100 Android phones. Doesn't matter how many commercials and how great Steve Jobs is, etc. Android's really, really driving a lot of interactions. So I think, especially here, I don't hear anything about Android at all. So I think these guys probably need to figure that out, that it's a little more even than they think. And the cool thing about Android is that most of the apps are free. So the money is really made within the apps for a developer. Otherwise, you're literally, as of most Google products, you're getting awesome stuff for free. So wouldn't that be great? Because as more and more people who necessarily can't afford an iPhone, don't want to go to AT&T or Verizon, they can get an Android phone and probably get really cool health stuff for free.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
This has been Caitlin Renaud from Pixels and Pills.